All right, what's up, everybody? It's Andrew Franz here, and
Hello.
hello.
Hi.
We're here to talk a little bit about our new company panel and how it came about, and who we are, and what we're excited to do in the space.
That's right.
That's all right. I got it all right.
You got it just
All right.
right.
You want to tell everybody a little bit about you and I guess pre us meeting, what you were working on and
Sure. A little bit about myself. I started in this industry when I was 13. I got my first start into gaming, working at the Sentinels. It's a gaming esports organization. And then I went to become a talent manager at this boutique talent management firm called Adder. And then I worked there for a few years and then worked at Fanjoy, where I was a VP of talent. And then here I am,
panel gang. Yeah.
building my own company. So how about you, Andrew?
Yeah.
What's
So
your story?
I have a long story because I'm an old man, between the two
God.
of us.
Guys, it's
Um,
just under 30. Calm down.
but yeah, so I started my career, I guess, out of college. I moved up to New York to do investment banking. So I was actually on Wall Street working at Deutsche Bank, working in the industrials industry. So I was doing different types of deals, mostly with like automotive companies or shipping companies. Very different from the digital world that I'm in now. But after that, I was kind of choosing between going to do private equity like all my peers at the time, or try to do something a bit more entrepreneurial. So I actually decided to do the more entrepreneurial-ish route, I would say, and joined a company called Fluent, where I did a lot of finance work for them. And yeah, I mean, I ended up learning a little bit about influencer and decided that was, what I wanted to do long term. And I think you and I decided that it made sense to team up because I have a very operational finance, I would say like product tech background. And, you were more so on the creative talent agency side. And I definitely like the talent management model. So we decided to join forces. So I guess what made you want to start Panel, and what is Panel to you? Like, what is the vision that you have for it?
Why we wanted to start panel? Well, I think we just both wanted to like do the same thing, but we just had different avenues and mediums to do it.
Yeah.
And I just thought, why don't we just combine it? I think there was like this moment.
It took you had to convince me for a little. There was a little back and
There
forth.
was a little back and forth. And I remember like we were sitting, were we in Soho?
We were in downtown. We were at I forgot what it's called, but it's like on the water in downtown Manhattan, like right off Wall Street.
We were at this like wine shop and like enjoying cheese and wine. And we were both like, this is like this is what I'm working on, and you're like, this is what I'm working on, and
I think at first it was kind of. I think we were stubborn about our visions, and we were
stubborn.
like, no, like what you're doing, like whatever, I don't
Right.
care.
we,
But
we were like silently like, okay, cool,
like good luck.
Right.
But I think
we were both our biggest haters and biggest supporters of each
yeah,
other.
yeah. I think, and then the more we talked about it, I think I realized that like there's a huge value add in having, a proper talent management business and doing big brand deals, working with big talent. And I guess I really like building technology and streamline operations. And I kind of realized that you can't build technology that matters, that people care about, if it's not based off of real use cases. And the way that we can find the real use cases is in our day-to-day managing talent. So right now, I
And
just think
being part of that ecosystem.
yeah,
right?
and being part of that ecosystem and living and breathing it every day. Because I think a lot of people build technology in, a silo, and they're just like, I'm going to build this and really hope that it works. And I'm going to take a year to build something, release it, and then pray that people want to use it. Whereas I think what you brought to the equation was like, we're going to start making money. We're going to start doing deals right away. And then I'm able to observe what's working, what's not working, what can we make better with tech. And then every day on my call with our developers, I'm like, okay, payments is something right now that's a huge pain for us. How do we get everybody's payment
We
information?
build from real life experience.
Yeah, we're building a product from real life experience, and instead of just, building this, I guess, soulless creator tech marketplace that I think a
That's
lot of
like
people
one-sided. We are
vanilla,
right,
yeah.
but we're building something out of our own perspective because we're doing the work. And I think that's really interesting. And also, I just wanted to call myself a tech founder.
Yeah. That's the real reason that you ended up.
That's the real reason.
Yeah, no, but I think really the amount that we're informed by our day-to-day work right now that's so manual and annoying. And I think that there is, I guess, some art maybe in like the manual components and
There's some artistic component in everything we do.
yeah, but there's so much that we can do better and
Right.
optimize.
And having those proper like guidelines and having just structure, right? And having structure in your life and foundations is always a really great thing to build something really big for yourself.
Yeah.
Is when you have structure and the right foundations, you can reach the moon.
I think one thing I joke about a lot of times when we're talking to different people that we work with is if they ask you what our company is, they get a completely different answer than if they ask me what our company is. So I think you should give your version of what is panel, and then I'll give mine, and then we can tie them together.
I think that sounds like a great idea. When a person goes to me and goes, "What's panel? What is that?" I go, "It's a management firm. It's a talent management firm and marketing firm, and we help brands work with really amazing talent and hopefully use their voice to uplift their brand. And we also create different marketing strategies for different brands to get them their KPIs and goals and hopefully make a difference in this world." If you ask Andrew,
I would say that we do kind of three different things. One is, a creative consultancy where we help really big brands tap into really big talent in a really white glove, customized way where we come up with creative approaches for the two to activate and kind of both benefit. That's kind of one thing. And I would say that's, a side business to some degree, but it is good business nonetheless. I would say our talent management is the biggest business that we have right now, where we are actually signing talent, managing them, helping them with PR, helping them with content strategy, and I think probably most importantly, helping them with brand deals. And then the final thing I would say is our tech component, which is, really in development right now. I guess there might be a fourth one, but the tech component is, how do we streamline this whole process of connecting brands to creators? And then I would say the tech piece is building kind of an attribution platform to make sure that creators and brands are aligned in their goals and they win together and ultimately create longer term partnerships. So I think an example, one thing that I put on my LinkedIn that I think a lot of people found illuminating was, a brand came to us and asked, "Hey, can we get 10K for this creator's channel?" They were a great brand for this channel. They wanted to pay 10K flat rate. And I came back to them and said, "Hey, we know that the channel's relatively new. We know there's some, variability in the channel's performance. Let's make it performance based. Let's do a multi-video deal. Let's turn this into a real partnership. We'll make it CPM based and conversion based." And what that did is, I think, one, it protects the brand for their downside. So, it aligns
100%.
incentives. And two, it gives the creator a brand new outlook on this partnership. They're like, okay, so I'm getting paid for driving sales and, creating profit for this brand. I really want to figure out, and I'm going to work really hard on creating an ad and creating a strategy that's going to drive them sales, because I get paid, they make money, this partnership continues.
I think what we're really good at is making sure both sides win.
Yeah.
And a lot of firms really look at partnership as very one-sided. They protect their client as they should, but they forget that this is a partnership.
And with partnership becomes long-term relationships. Instead of having to fight for a sponsor for every video, eventually you have 2 or 3 sponsors that sponsor every video. They make money every video. You make money every video.
And it's an actual partnership. It's organic. It feels like there's a relationship rather than you get McDonald's for 2 months and then the next month, oh, we're now sponsored by Chipotle.
Yeah.
And there's no actual stability. There's no consistency. And when you quickly change so much, like we know back in the day, like actors, celebrities, and talent would just stick with one like a restaurant, one chain, because their whole identity is known for that, and they're known for being an ambassador for them, and it adds more value both ways.
Yeah.
Whereas now you see talent just jump after 6 months to another brand and to another brand, and if doesn't feel like a relationship. It feels like, okay, I'm done getting the stuff from you. I'm just moving on to whoever gives me more money.
Yeah. So how would you define a successful campaign? Because I think what you really specialize in is like really brand safe, well branded, brand awareness type execution. So I guess how would you say you successfully execute on that?
I think for me, there's a different number of factors. There's one is organic feedback, meaning that because the campaign was so successful, the audience is taking to social media to talk about it, to say that, wow, like this was so cool and so innovative, so and something unique, where people are already talking about what we did. Another is that conversions, of course, numbers are everything, and we're seeing numbers either on the viewership or on people just like.
But for some campaigns, I would say that views is conversions to some degree.
To some degree, of course. Like I think that's still getting your brand looked at by so many people, and that's still what you pay for. But again, for more like concrete metrics, for sure, conversions on like clicks or sales, right? At the end of the day, it's like an economy, right? Like we buy something to get this or to do this, and it goes around.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you talk about conversions, that's, I mean, like my bread and butter.
Your bread and butter.
So like
I'm tipping my toes into your bread.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think that there's like really two different things you can do with influencers, and one is what you've done amazing, which is like make them culturally relevant, which is, I guess, harder to put your finger on, but in some ways the most important thing you can possibly do in marketing. And then I would say the other side is just like, how do we put attributable sales to our marketing spend? And that's really the tech platform that I'm trying to build, is make sales, views, creative, all as attributable and ROI and KPI backed as possible, which it's impossible to do perfectly with something like someone putting a pre-roll ad on YouTube or someone making a TikTok. You're never going to be able to perfectly track all of the value that brings to a brand, but you can definitely, with the right tech, start to get closer. And when a brand makes $100,000, they can then pay, $50,000 of that back to the creator. And they say, this video made us $100,000. Here's your $50K. Let's do it again. And then you do it again. The brand makes $100K. They give it to the $50K to the creator. They say, let's do it again. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's where I've found the most success, is just purely number based. Yeah, and sometimes I think one thing that people don't realize is what gets conversions isn't always what you think it would be. Like there's a lot of testing, and there's really high engaging creators out there that maybe are the right fit for super branded campaigns. But if you want conversions and outcomes, you have to work with certain creators that have high engagement, but are maybe less quote unquote brand safe.
Andrew, having had a chance to work with you the last few months, I've learned a lot, and you've really helped shape me to look at things really differently in the sense of how I look at partnerships. I wouldn't have thought to do that kind of system of like doing more videos rather than one-offs. And that's kind of a testament to how we affect each other in terms of how we think. I don't know if I've changed any of your thoughts and how you think, but definitely for me, I've made it important to me to really establish really long-term relationships, especially with my companies and with my brands, and think about doing partnerships and deliverables differently that sets us up for success for a long-term partnership, rather than let's just do this once and we're done.
And like milk as much as we can for our creators.
Of
Yeah,
course.
No, exactly. No, but like, maybe let's take a little bit less right now. Let's see how it performs.
Right.
And then we have a client locked in for a year and, we'll make money off it. So I think the biggest thing that I probably learned working with you is really how the talent space works. I mean, I think I was more in the affiliate space than, the talent and creator space before this. And it's completely different the way that business is done. Even the fact that 90% of our deals are done on Discord. I don't think I really used Discord before we started working together, and seeing how our team keeps everything organized and how we work with legal and what to look for in a talent contract. A lot of that was stuff that I was always just like, how many conversions can we drive and how quickly? But influencers aren't the same as affiliates, but they can drive conversions and outcomes.
It just hits,
similar.
It's just different.
It's just different.
It hits different.
It hits different.
And you see that because someone can make you go buy this, but it takes a very special person to get you to buy it and also post about it and be
the earned media component.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Feeling like you're part of something, feeling that you're supporting someone more than the brand.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the difference in terms of people and celebrity and talent is the way that they move, the way that they impact.
But I think that goes back to the branding piece to some component, because I also think if you just put a really good ad on a piece of content that gets a lot of views, you can get conversions from it because the ad's good and it got enough people to view it.
Right.
Whereas what you're talking about is like a cultural movement where fans on them own are making content and it's moving.
Fans are the next creators.
Yeah.
With that, I wanted to ask you, what does Panel do? Like, what's our services?
Yeah, well, I think we hit on that a bit before, but I think at the highest level, we do flat rate, really white glove, custom talent, creative services where if you are a big brand and you want to tap into really big creators, we have partnerships with some of the biggest talent management firms, the biggest talent agencies. We just music, whatever. So
labels.
I think just from both of us grinding and being in the space and doing conferences and all
our
of
network.
that, our network together, really, we can tap into almost any creator that a brand would want to work
talent.
with. So I think that's one. I think another service, if you want to call it that, is our performance hybrid campaigns. I have my background in investment banking and deal making and M&A makes me love creative deal structuring. So I love clients that are down to get creative with deals, pay some on a CPM, pay some on conversions, pay some flat rate, mix it up, do whatever in a way that
Benefits
they win
them.
and that benefits the brand and will ultimately, pay the creator for upside if things go really well. So I would say any brands come to us with creative deals. We love to hear them. And I would urge creators, and even more so creators, I would urge managers to be open-minded to creative deals. I think a lot of managers say, I only do flat rate. I'm unflexible around that. And I think that takes a lot of opportunity away from the creators 100%. That they manage. And I see it time and time again when I try to get creative and come to already represented talent with a cool new brand that I'm working with, and they say, sorry, we only do this flat rate.
And I think it's such a wall that you're stopping yourself from maybe even developing a really cool relationship with a new brand or investing in this or that when you put such I wouldn't say boundaries, but more so just walls.
It's just not being open-minded, I suppose. Why do you think that is, that the industry has gotten so hard? You think people don't understand the math because it's a bunch of creatives?
I think it's because people, especially managers or people around them, are so short-sighted in terms of money, and people don't like to think things at long term.
And they don't want to model it out. Right. They don't want to get in Excel and model.
This is your specialty. So you like to model things out. You like to look at things so 100 years, analytically, 100 years in the future. Whereas I think, if a creator gets $20,000, whereas they get 20K or 50K or 100K or 500K over 5 years, they would take the 100K or the 20K upfront rather than have to wait that time, is because cash is king. That's right. But I think with more time, with more amazing good people like us, we're gonna see a future where people look at things more long term.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing with the product that we're trying to build. I think tracking things on a CPM, tracking conversions,
Making it
tracking all this,
sustainable.
it's just, it's really a pain to do. Where it's just say, I'm going to pay you 10K. Let's just exchange the 10K and not worry about all the other components. But I think if people have a tracking technology that allows it to easily track on conversions, easily track on views, easily throw in flat rates, I think people will be more open-minded to these deal structuring because they know that they're not, like, the tracking is all going to happen in a concise way, and it's not going to be a nightmare and go off the rails.
I think my prediction is that if we do really well, we're gonna see a surge of creators really actually caring about the influence that they have, rather than like, hey, I can get you 2 million views, whereas a creator I can get you 500,000 conversions.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I think that's kind of what we're trying to do. So with that said, what platform strategies within social, I guess, excite you right now and have worked well for you in the last, I guess 2023?
I think it's like getting people to get to know the talent. It's like building opportunities and platforms where you can showcase the talent's personality. I think that's what really excites me, is that, like, there's so many different opportunities now to show off yourself. Whereas before, like, oh, maybe you'll show like one funny clip and maybe you'll get 10 views. Now, like, there's platforms like TikTok or YouTube Shorts where you can show a little bit about your personality, but like you can then push people to go watch your long form where they can see you fully.
But that, what you just said, assumes that they have long form.
Well,
so what are your thoughts on long form versus short form?
Love long form.
love
long
we love
form. I always say I'd rather watch a 30-minute video than 10-second video, because I'd rather remember the person and not forget about them in a day.
So how would you say advertisers should tap into short form platforms, if at all?
I think I think it should definitely be part of their marketing strategy, in a sense of being part of trends and, like, those trending audios, or being part of like those like 1-minute fames. But you also should invest in long form strategies that, like, will get people to remember it. I think it's holistic. When you're a brand, you want to always, I think it's always chasing relevancy. So being part of those moments, being part of those 1-minute wins while doing long form is great. It makes sense for them. But for creators, it's different, because for creators, you sometimes have to lend your voice for a brand. And so you have to be stable. You have to be the rock in this case. But so if you're doing stuff that only gets 1-minute fames and people forget about you, it's not really stable.
Yeah, I think that's one thing too. I think short form content creators don't really necessarily have much influence or fame, really, at the end of the day. Whereas
it sucks, and there's no on this at all.
No, not at all.
We have a very mutual friend who does a great job, kind of doing that through short form.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that, like, there are like good and bad cases around it.
Yeah.
And I have pretty strong opinions about it, but I think there's
so is YouTube and Twitch the two best platforms? Or I guess you're one of the best managers in the game. What would you say talent should focus on going into 2024?
Long form for sure.
Meaning YouTube only, or is there other ways to do long form?
Live streaming is great. I think any way where you can get as much eye and view time as possible is amazing. Like, I think that the reason we like actors so much is because we watch them for an hour.
Yeah.
Really,
2 hours.
2
3 hours. Yeah.
10 seasons.
Yeah.
And we really get to feel like we know them.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, like, sit down, dedicate time, and watching them on the screen. Whereas, like, these people, these short form people, we see them for a few seconds and boop.
I think watch time. I just literally have never thought of that, but
That's-
watch time is the key metric that you
That's
need.
the key metric.
Yeah.
Watch time. If you can get yourself watch
It's not
time,
views, it's
not
watch time. You heard it here first.
We just discovered the next element.
That's our new KPI.
Watch time.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I guess if I had to describe what I've seen in the industry just off like looking at a ton and tons of data, is YouTube pre-roll ads without fail crush. That's like an ad unit that every brand should be tapping into if they want performance. And it's really easy to kind of track. If you get this many views with this type of creative, this is going to be the outcome. I would say Insta stories and Snapchat stories, I guess to a lesser degree, are great because you can embed tracking links directly in that you can link out to. So they're very affiliate link friendly. So they're useful for that reason. Short form is like venture investing. Like you have to, if you want to do a TikTok strategy, you have to invest in like at least 20 pieces of content, because some of them are going to flop. And at the end of the day, one's going to go super viral and the rest aren't going to work. So I think that's the short form strategy that I would use as a brand. And then live streaming is like king of them all. If you're on a live stream and someone's watching us right now, say we have 100,000 people watching us. If I say, all right, everybody, look at this candle. I love this candle. It's the best smelling candle I've ever seen in my life. It's
now.
50% off in my link. Everybody should buy it right now. It's holiday season. Buy this for your husband, wife, significant other, whatever. It's the best candle ever. I'm telling you guys. Like half of the people on that live stream are at least going to go click that link and think about buying it.
And it's because it's like you're kind of forced in the moment.
And
right?
you're all hanging out in real time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, let me go check this out. Whereas like if you're like in a video, like you get time, let me just pause this real quick, let me skip it over. You know? Whereas like you don't want to feel like FOMO of like everyone else is doing it. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I think that's like really powerful. And that's why I continue to invest in live streaming. Well, I want to kind of pivot away a little bit about the business side. Like, what has been the most fun stuff that we've done together?
Well, I think when we met in Vid Summit a couple years ago.
Oh my God.
And I was like, who is this crazy kid? You like immediately showed me a Fred again picture with Fred again. And I was like, I was like, who is this kid? Like, what is going on?
That was so funny.
That was so funny. And I think we kind of became friends instantly. We never really worked together for a long time. I think we just respected each other as other people in the industry.
I got you in that Caru party.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That's right.
Because really, like, you were an industry insider and I was a business guy trying to figure out the creator economy.
You were new and you were like trying to figure out, and I was like, who is this tall white man? And it was so funny because I think when I first met you, I was like, you know what? He seems cool. Let me see. I feel like I owe it to a lot of people, and even different kinds of people. Like when I was very new in this industry, I didn't know anybody, but I had really great people just help me out and guide me, give me a lot of advice and feedback. And so when I see an opportunity to get someone through the door and they seem like a good person, I would. And I guess you and your friend were those people, and we hanged out a little bit after the party, and when I was in New York, I hit you up.
I think another time too that comes to mind is VidCon this year. I think we were both like, what is going on in our lives? Like, are we going to start a company together? Are we going to start our own companies? Are we going to go get new jobs? Like, we were both very much in a chaotic point in our lives, but I think we were like, let's do this. Like, we can do this. Let's go get some money. Let's start a company. Like, we got this. What could go wrong?
I think we were, I think I was it days before VidCon? We were like, we didn't even have a company set up.
No, we didn't have a company name.
We were at Century City Mall when we finally decided let's make it. I remember I was vividly remembering.
We were eating
macarons. We were eating macarons. It was like, okay, I want this. You want this. Okay. Fine.
Let's do it. And then the next day we went to VidCon or whatever. And I think we still have a lot of months till VidCon, but I kind of remember being there and being like, let's see how much stuff we can do between like now and next VidCon.
Next VidCon.
Like, let's make panel massive. Let's make a huge splash in the space. And next time when we're at VidCon, we're going to be like, that was pretty fun. Let's do it again.
Exactly. And it's interesting. I think, I never really, maybe the best way to describe it is that like, it felt just so natural. Like we didn't have to force each other. Like,
yeah.
Whenever I'm in New York, you were always so supportive of what I was doing. You came up, you pulled up. How many times did I visit you? Twice?
I think maybe twice. Yeah.
I visited you twice, and each time, like, I think you just showed up for me and, like, always were so, responding to my stories and kind of, like, was just always there. But, like, it didn't feel like we had to always talk every day.
Yeah. I think one thing that I like about working together is that, like, I feel like you can spawn money out of thin air, and I can also spawn money out of thin air. And there's not that many people
that can spawn money
out of thin air. And it like I think you said this to me one time, but you were like, I mean, it's just because you work really hard and bug people over and over again and do good work. And it's just hard work at the end of the day. And
it really is.
It's all it is consistency and hard work.
I promise I'm not a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Or listen, like you get your cards and you just have to work with them,
Yeah. And hard work and consistency. It's for creators, for business people, for anybody.
Everybody.
It's just all you have to do is work 24/7, right?
That's it. Don't stop working.
Don't ever stop working.
Or get yourself an e-bike so you don't have to paddle.
Yeah. E-bikes are important too. But yeah, I guess what would you say you're most excited for over like the next 5 years for the company?
Damn, it's like a commitment with you. I don't know. I think my most exciting is Coachella. I think I want to do something cool for Coachella.
That's a fair answer. Coachella, it's gonna be sick.
I think it's just like the more we just keep doing really good work, the more like incredible people we're gonna meet.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we've already met and been into like some really crazy rooms already as a company and as us as individuals and the kind of opportunities we've already gotten and the kind of brands we've worked. I mean, hell, this year we got to work with one of the biggest toy brands in the world.
Yeah.
Lego. Like Lego was like I remember playing Legos. Did you play Legos when you grew up?
With my brothers all the time.
And like I got to go to their like main office. I got to like, which is buttfuck nowhere, but it was like super cool and it was like such a full circle moment. I remember like crying to my dad. I was like, Dad, I remember buying fake Lego.
Yeah.
And to be able to work with a company and like do cool stuff and like see it like affect actual buyers and see it on like the main YouTube page and like that's what I worked on.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get so many of those moments and so many of the the stuff that
mine's a little bit more nerdy,
oh.
but I like all those vibes. Those vibes are on point.
So nerdy.
I love seeing like product come to life from like me being like, I sketched this on a piece of paper, took a picture of it, sent it to a designer, and then I'm excited to see in like 3-4 years.
Okay, Virgil Abloh, I see you.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see kind of how I can pull a product out of my head, your head, and turn it into something that like hopefully thousands and thousands of people can use.
I've gone through that feeling, and this is when I was working at FanJoy, was like getting to talk to a client about what they want to do, working with an amazing creative team and building it out, and then just bringing it to life. And I understand that feeling completely. And to some, like I even got to see some of my stuff that I've like worked on become billboards, and that was like, it's an interesting feeling for sure.
And I think that there's so many ups and downs in entrepreneurship. Some days we're like,
I just want to say,
oh my God, I hate this. Why are we doing this? And then there's the days where you're like, we're so smart. Yeah. So I mean that part's pretty electric. But I would say for anybody that wants to work with us, reach out to us. On our Instagram, LinkedIn, website, any of those, and both advertisers and creators. We'd love to hear from all of you and get some work going for the next year.
Let's
plus.
do it. The last thing I wanted to touch based on, and it's a little bit of a sore subject, and I think it's important to have these conversations, is because I think we're not perfect, and I think people nowadays want to articulate a specific image of how they're well put, they're put together, but I want to know your hardships. What do you struggle with?
I would say
what frustrates you? What what are your pet peeves? What are things in the business right now that you feel oh shit, am I really doing this right? Or I don't really like when these things happen.
I would say the biggest thing for me right now is just being extremely overextended. I'm our accounting team, I'm our product team, I manage influencers, I manage advertisers.
You manage me.
I manage the team. And so I would just say day to day, there's so many things that I miss and can't do, and just trying to make sure that I'm prioritizing what's most important in a never-ending to-do list of extremely important things to do. So I think just trying not to get overwhelmed by the amount of things that I want to do, and make sure that I'm doing at least a good enough job with all of them is my biggest struggle. And not getting burned out, which is, I took 1 day off since we started the company.
I'm a little different from Andrew, that I like to take day offs, as much as I can. I think it's just because I work a very different job, whereas I think I feel so personally attacked when a campaign doesn't go well or something doesn't go right, because I'm sure you also get personally attacked in what you do, but I feel when we don't get a deal, when this doesn't close, when a client, the creator, fucks up, it feels like I fucked up. And it's a lot of emotion, and it takes a toll. It does. And I, for a long time, I had to suppress it, because no, everything has to be well, it's not my fault. And it's but to a lot of degree, it's a lot of accountability, and being part of being a CEO, COO, being founders.
Yeah, being founders is, because at the end of the day, when our team messes up, it's our fault.
It's our fault.
Yeah.
It's in every big company, people try to find scapegoats. It's their fault. It's not our fault.
It's our fault.
It's founders, CEOs it's always their fault. It's because either you chose the wrong employee and they made this
you didn't
bad
train them
decision,
well enough.
right?
Yeah.
And it's the constant feeling like you're not doing enough.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel you in the overextending part, because being founders, people glamorize oh wow, you're rich, you're doing this.
It's just a grind.
It's a grind. You're oh, you made $1 million. Babe, cut that in half. Taxes, employees, healthcare, insurance, legal.
You're learning all about P&L. I love it.
What the hell is a P&L? Right? And it's funny, because I feel everybody goes through this, but people like to glamorize the fact that they don't go through it. And
Yeah.
it's true, it happens. And I think we know how it feels and we've gone through it as our business, and even for creators. And hopefully we can find clients that just need a little bit of help, because we've gone through it. We understand how you feel. We understand that things are not always going to be so straightforward, or it's going to be a little rocky. But when you have a really good team, a really good foundation, I think you're just going to be all
And
right.
co-founder.
And co-founder. It's that comfort that everything's just going to be okay.
Yeah. All right.
With that,
We're done.
we're done. I want to thank for you guys for watching. We are Panel. You can find all of our socials over here somewhere. Editor, do your work.
And thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.